Good morning. Thank you, Michael-san, for your very kind introduction. And I'm Toru Iiyoshi from Kyoto University. And I'm not going to read this, but he already covered many. But my areas of research, educational innovation, and particularly focusing on higher education system, policy, and educational technology. And I've been a long-time advocate, both in Japan and the United States, of open education. So from Kyoto, actually I was working in the States for 20 years, and 13 years ago I came back to Japan and landed on Kyoto. How many of you have been Kyoto? Well, actually not that many, so please visit. This is, I'm not, getting any that's all right. But this is a typical kind of poster for this kind of tourism campaign. But a few days ago, I encountered something very interesting, which is this at the local train station. And guess what this is? This is a recruitment poster of a self-defense force in Kyoto. Very strange. And I just wanted to use this kind of curious poster, for this keynote. This is my wishful thinking. But also, since the theme of this great conference is AI-enhanced education, I thought, well, something very complicated in many senses. It's like this poster, how the generative AI could see this. So I asked, ChatGPT, and surprise, surprise. Maybe if I ask the same question, to my undergraduate or graduate students, maybe they couldn't get this perfect answers. So it started with a visual analysis and also interpretation, very carefully, thoughtfully, from both cultural, political, also arguing if this is politically correct or not, kind of thing. So somebody says, AI cannot be creative, or cannot do deep thinking or analysis, which I don't believe now. So we just have to face the reality of what we are living in this kind of world now. And also, my gratitude, goes to the TCU and Thai MOOC teams. And actually, I'm so glad to be back. I love Thailand and especially Bangkok. We had a similar, but a lot smaller scale conference 6 months ago here, exactly at the same venue, here. It is a poster. So I'm delighted, to be back here. And I'm here representing JMOOC, and most of you know, so I'm not going to repeat. But just next few several slides, just to cover the overview, upshot, of JMOOC. So just go very quickly here, and not to bore you. So we started in 2013. So I've been doing this about 12 years. And the members consist, of some corporate, some sponsors, and also many universities and companies, and also research institute and academic organizations. And important numbers, here, learned Thai MOOC, has reached to over 700 MOOCs. Congratulations. We are kind of catching up to that. And course resistance overall over the last 12, 13 years, it's this many. And also we mostly domestic learners we cover here. And I'm not going to go into the detail, for stuff like this, But I'm going to share my slides at the end. So please, if you're interested, please read these slides later. And also, even before the generative AI emerged, we started this human resource development courses on JMOOC for industrial AI experts. And also, Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry have been giving away a lot of funding to encourage universities and corporates to create many recurrent education programs. And some are available on JMOOC. And as you can imagine, micro-credentials are very essential so for this. And so the latest and I think I showed this slide 6 months ago here, but this is my favorite slide, so allow me to show this again. So I always compare these traditional degrees when I compare traditional degrees to micro-credentials using this traditional currency and virtual currency metaphor. So the beauty of virtual currency is we can make up anything, right? But it could be a subset of a traditional degrees, currency here, right? It could be exchangeable, I mean. So we could be very creative, imaginative in designing and using these micro-credentials. And we don't need to be stuck in the current higher educational credit degree kind of system. So that for our lifelong learning, we can imagine, our, kind of accumulated learning records, could look like a 3D calculator Tetris. And well, these are food for thoughts. So I'm not going to read out these, but hope we have a chance to reflect on these questions. And actually, the third bullet point I like to stress on this because I think it's becoming really chaotic, to say the least, if we start mixing these traditional degrees, credits, and micro-credentials. And so the learners, some could get confused, and also employers, prospective employers could get confused too. So, what same time, just making this kind of learning, lifelong learning more flexible is very important. Just in time kind of learning. But we have to think about what kind of a policy and could be be needed to support this kind of a new world of kind of new mixed world of traditional and micro credentials. And to kind of respond to this kind of a big challenge, we are now embarking on creating establishing, this Japan Micro-Credentials Organization. So, the Japanese government has been pretty slow on embarking on something like this, but this time, not too bad. So, about a month ago in Tokyo, I was part of this, and also a few colleagues, here, part of this. But this is a launch committee kickoff ceremony. So the organization hasn't been launched yet, but soon, by the end of this year, I hope, I'm gonna launch this. So, all the same, so I'm not gonna read out this slide, but please, if you are interested in, read this later. And just for business for business details, just 4 kind of main points here. The first is establishment and disseminations of micro-credentials, specifications, and standards. And these work need to be done jointly some by industry, government, and academia. And the great thing is these three kinds of stakeholders are very excited about this new organization. So we hope this is going to fly. And also this third point, the promoting visualization and circulations of micro-credentials, this is very important. As still in Japan, maybe less than 10% of the entire, Japanese people understand what's micro-credentials. So again, we need promoting the understanding, of what, how micro-credentials are not enemy, of traditional degrees or traditional education system, but how we could expand this future education, higher education system, taking advantage of micro-credentials. And I'm gonna skip this one. And thank you for keep, waiting. So this is the topic of my talk today. Sorry. Yeah. So the seven kind of main things, and of course, even at this conference over the last day and a half, a lot of great examples or plans, have been shared. So maybe my slides are just to summarize, kind of high points, of highlights, of what people, our organizations around the world have already accomplished or are trying to accomplish, here. And I have to give some credit to ChatGPT 4.0 because this is 7 points I'm gonna walk you through. Our joint product with AI. So generative AI can tailor MOOCs to each learners. So it's amazing. We already have over 20,000 some MOOCs around the world. And I never say underuse, but we could just mix, revise, enhance, and so on, and to make all these 20,000 something MOOCs even more useful and get them to even more people around the world. And as you know, the completion rate of a MOOC, of the entire MOOC learners are only like 5%. If 100 people, take a MOOC course, then only 5 people could get to the certificate, right? That could be changed dramatically if people wish, to get the certificate too. Because, again, as we kept hearing over the last day and a half, AI could help learners to personalize their learning experience. And here's a little jokey, oops. Yeah, so this is a real example. Maybe you have seen some of my funny but not so self-explanatory or helpful slides. I'm a very visual person. So this is a Gen Ed, general education, some course I teach at Kyoto University, and I use these slides. And so this day, I was talking about the history of MOOC to undergraduate students. And I'm kind of lazy, so I usually don't record my, in classroom teaching. But I always upload, some my slides, some to our LMS, the Kyoto University. And there's one very naive, shy engineering student, and she always comes to the class. But one day she got sick and she couldn't come to the class. And so she downloaded my slides, and of course she couldn't understand at all. And But the next week, she came up to me after my lecture, and she, so I'm sorry, I couldn't make the class last week. And I said, well, what happened? And I was sick, and I'm sorry to hear that. I'm feeling okay now. And she said, but I want to share with you what I did at home last week. So what she did was basically this very unhelpful slides. She uploaded to, in this case, Gemini, and ask innocent generative AI Gemini innocent to mimic innocent my lecture. so until that point, I started swelling and I sweating, and oh God, this is gonna be bad, but I was shocked because what the Gemini innocent gave her as clearly better than my lecture. so I just took the part of innocent this, and so this, see this underlined, part, the imagery visually poses the questions of whether this diversity in the course duration leads to enhanced educational quality, evolutions, or instead results in diluted content and superficial learning. Devolution, yes, MOOC, cannot be deeper, as real face-to-face teaching. So, but how the hell, the AI could read, between slides, not lines, and to get something like this. So this little incident just made me believe, well, I need to work with AI, so to help students learn. Maybe they're not quite understanding, some of my lecture. So AI, could be a great help. Yeah. For the sake of time, just keep going. And so automated content creation and adoption is another big, possibility, here. Because many universities or instructors, haven't started making, some MOOCs because it's time-consuming. It costs a lot. I don't have any, technical experts around me, and also instruction designers, surround me. But I think AI, could be a great help for many of those, things. And as two previous keynoters this morning talked about the great examples, and so intelligent tutoring and feedback is another promising, area. And so my colleagues, JMOOC, so also working with Thai MOOC to use AI and automated translation service to remove the language barrier between Thai MOOC and the JMOOC. So that's another big possibility. And also support for active and reflective learning. And this one, again, I asked some undergraduate students at Kyoto University and how they use AI for their college learning. And many of them actually responded and say, well, I really use generative AI to summarize lecture content because the cost effectiveness is very important. I want to use more time on not the learning, but something else, playing games and some other things too. So just efficient learning is really the high priority things, for them. And so I learned, they tried to accumulate, these, lecture videos or handouts and other things, slides and other things, and to generate the high-level summary, of lectures. So I'll save, some my bit negative comments on something like this because I don't think it's, it's always helpful to just, I think many of you could agree because you're not teenagers. I don't see any teenagers here, but summarize 2-hour movie into 10 minutes version, and what's the meaning of that? So that's my point. And of course, it would be intelligent authoring tools, for instructors, and also this is a big area, learning analytics and some other things. So we can truly do not just the MOOCs, but also in face-to-face teaching and learning. We can do things in really data-driven way from now on. And till this point, we tend to say, so okay, LMS can gather a lot of learning-related data. Some are maybe junk, but some could be useful. But it's too complicated and too many things we can gather, and we don't have time to just dive in, this and do data mining kind of stuff. But AI, could keep working for us 24 hours a day, and to come up with something we could easily overlook too. So it's very fortunate thing. And we should really put a lot of resource in resource and development in this area, for sure. So this is summary, and generative AI, even just the generative AI, and yesterday one keynote was talking about generative AI, just a part of AI, true. But even just generative AI could help us in many ways already. And it's a great, forward wind, both for learners and educators. But to conclude my talk, just one more thing. Well, I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs, of course. Always he was doing, there's no one more things at Apple Computer these days, so I'm very sad about this. But no innovation, real innovation. But so how we could not recreate, just move forward, move on to this AI-proof open education. AI-proof means, as we all learned, AI could advance open education, MOOC, OERs, open technology in many ways. But what AI-proof could mean? And because if we really think about things learner-centered way, then we start seeing many pitfalls and bumps ahead of us. I helped to make this book about 17 years ago. This covers first Open Education 1.0. And then shortly after this, in 2012, the MOOC emerged. And so that opened the doors for the Open Education 2.0 innocent era. And now, and then in this book, so there's 3 components. We invited 39 authors for this 500-page book. But then when we started seeing this rapid development of MOOC, I quickly came up with this open practice. Now it's in place. So that's a great thing. And now AI just boosting up everything here. But he's a real visionary, I think. Professor Joseph Aoun, president, still current president of Northeastern University, wrote this book about 7 years ago, meaning just before this general, so generative AI, some booming. So in this book, he was really, envisioning the future universities in the AI-centered, world too. And it's really a big question is whether your current universities could survive or not. Really need to redesign many things. So again, it's not that level, but we have to think about open education and MOOCs in many different ways. But we could build on what we have already as a legacy of open education 1.0 and 2.0 too. So very excited, about a new journey, taking with you. So thank you very much. This concludes my talk.
Thank you very much, Professor Iiyoshi. That's a very insightful presentation.
Again, and sorry, just yeah. So give you 15 seconds more.
Okay.
15 seconds to feel free to download Professor's
All of
slide.
them lifting up the mobile phone. They all want your slides.